Standing by is Didier Rurangwa, a Rwandan living in Poland, who is also the spokesperson of Rwandan Community in Poland. Thank you so much, Didier, for joining us here on Rwanda Television.
Thank you so much, RwandaTV, for hosting tonight.
Cool. So, a quick one. How did the commemoration go in Poland?
Well, the Rwandan community in Poland had its commemoration of the Rwandan genocide against the Tutsi in 1994 yesterday. And as a young community of over 300 members of now, 80% of our members are the youth. So the main, the theme was the role of the youth in the fight against the denial of the genocide ideology. And we had keynote speakers like the researcher Tom Ndahiro, Noel Kambanda, and the ambassador of Rwanda in Poland with residence in Berlin, His Excellency Igor Cesar.
So everything was virtual, right?
So one thing I'll highlight is with the discussion basing on the role of the youth in the fight against the fight against the denial of the genocide, we were constantly reminded about the role we have as the youth to join this struggle, in consideration of the fact that here in Europe, being the epicenter of where most of the genocide deniers reside, we really have a very huge role to play. And as the president of RCA Poland, Mr. Alex Luzindana, reminded us that in continuation to the struggle that was begun by RPF in Otanyi, we are not beginning from zero. We have an example to reckon on, and we still have where to count. We still have a government to remember that giving us an example in this whole fight against genocide denial. So it was all just a reminder of the role of us as the youth in fighting this denial of the genocide against the Tutsi.
Very quickly, how is genocide denial in Poland? Like, do you get in touch with these people, deniers around? Do you meet them? Do you talk to them? They in distance?
Well, specifically in Poland, as I said, we have only 300 members in our community, and most of them are the Rwandan youth. And but we are in the middle of Europe, so there are deniers in Belgium and in other countries that have been here for over 20 years. And we are trying to be educated through the authorities, to know our own history, and to know what we are able to do as the youth in fight against this genocide denial.
Didier, talking about commemoration, of course, it came at a time when we had a global coronavirus pandemic. How did you honor the memory of the genocide during this period, and what does it mean to genocide survivors who you attended the commemoration period, rather a commemoration event in Poland?
Well, of course, we are having part of our members who still live under the trauma caused by the genocide against the Tutsi, and it's hard time for them to stay indoors because of this global pandemic of COVID-19. So we tried to make sure that we can meet as much as we can through the online platforms, of which we use the Zoom. And we had experienced people, I could not miss to mention, people like Dr. Jim Goga from RCA Denmark, who gave us a clear example and the guidelines of how to help our members who could be undergoing traumatic stress of the trauma caused by the genocide of the Tutsi in 1994. So we were constantly reminded in this whole week about the care that we could give to our members that could have that kind of trauma. Yes.
Didier Rurangwa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for hosting me, RwandaTV.
Stay safe.
Thank you, and stay home.
All right, Didier Rurangwa, spokesperson of the Rwandan community in Poland, joining us here on Rwanda Television. Thank you indeed.